So here's a story that went right over everyone's head, including mine, that happened right here in Tennessee, not far from me in Murfreesboro. They have moved to ban homosexuality in public. They did this under the guise that they was trying to crack down on lewd and sexual acts in public, but it includes homosexuality, meaning that if a gay couple walks down the street holding hands and someone finds that lewd and offensive, then those two people could be charted off to jail because of it. They've already used this to target parades. They've already used this to target drag shows. And there's a whole lot of people out there that always says to me, man, Republicans don't care about that stuff, man. We don't care if people are gay or not. Really? Well, then stand up for the people in Murfreesboro. Everywhere I go in this part of the world, I see a yellow flag with a little dancing snake on it. It says, don't tread on me. And the sentiment I hear so much from people in this part of the world is, we just want the government to leave us alone. We want smaller government. We want the government out of our lives. We don't want the government to have their hands in everything that we're doing. Well, if that's really what you believe and really what you stand for, then you have to stand for that for everyone and not just people who looks and sounds and agrees with you and lives your lifestyle. Because if you don't include everyone, then that's called hypocrisy. That's called privilege. You're wanting everyone to give you a pass. You're wanting everyone to leave you alone, but you're perfectly okay if other people gets trampled upon or treaded upon. You're perfectly okay with that. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that you're for the government getting involved in their lives, but you want the government to stay out of yours. Now, I know what a lot of you is going to say. Well, man, they're doing this to cut down on the pedophiles, man, them drag queens, and they're all a bunch of pedophiles. Well, where's your evidence for that? Where's your proof? Show that to me. Bring it to the table and show it to me. Because we have a whole lot of proof against the Catholic Church. The Southern Baptist Convention ousted over 700 pastors and youth ministers that were Southern Baptists that preyed upon innocent children. Name me 700 drag queens that did the same thing. Go see if you can find that proof. See if you can find that evidence. You can't. The reason that you accuse drag queens and gay people and trans people of being pedophiles is because it's your bigotry showing through. You turn a blind eye to it when it happens at your own church. You drive your kids to church every Sunday. And you keep it hush-hush what the pastor has done. We don't want that getting out. It's some of the most hypocritical bullshit that I've ever seen, and I will continue to always call it out. I know churches in this part of the world, no joke, that have fired ministers for talking too loud, that have fired ministers because they sweated too much during their sermon, that have fired ministers because they didn't try Aunt Sally's potato salad. They didn't eat no ham at Thanksgiving. We need to get rid of him. He's a weirdo. I knew a church in this part of the world that changed preachers more times than I change underwear. It was like every other day they were changing preachers for some reason. Well, he quoted that wrong. He quoted that wrong. His hair touched his collar. I remember that one. Man, his hair's touched his collar. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow, man. We can't have that in here. And then it comes out on one of them, hey, this guy said some really inappropriate shit to that little girl over there. Well, shh, we don't want that getting out. That's why people cause bullshit on y'all. That's why. If you wonder why people don't want to be around you and don't want to be around your religion, there's Exhibit A. I got BC. I got the whole damn alphabet for you if you want to hang around for it. I'll do a fucking series on it. The fact that you will turn a blind eye to all of that, and yet you can't provide one shred of evidence to back up what you're saying about gay and trans people. You can't provide one shred of evidence that shows what you're saying about drag queens. But you'll continue to spread it. You'll continue to mouth it off. Just because it's the latest talking point that Sean Hannity told you to parrot. For anybody out there that has a voice of reason inside them, you have to stand up for the truth. And you have to stand up for people, whether you agree with them or not. You know what? Here's a left hook for you. MAGA Republicans and a lot of these churches believes in stuff that I consider to be batshit insane. okay? I consider it to be absolute lunacy and absolute insanity. However, I don't want them arrested for that because they have a First Amendment right to express themselves however they want to. Now, I may not be for it, but I'm for their right to have whatever belief they want in this world. But when they start hurting other people and they start hurting innocent people, that's where I have a problem with it. And there's way more evidence stacked to the brim against the churches and the priests than there ever has been a drag queen. So if you care about freedom and you care about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness so much, and you want the government to keep their hands out of your life, and you're not a bigot. You're not a bigot at all. I got a gay friend, man. I ain't no bigot. I listened to Elton John yesterday. Okay, if that's the case, go to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and stand up for him. I'll wait. And while you're at it, call out all that bigotry in your comment section. Because if you do have a gay or trans friend, and they're watching that, and they're seeing that you don't call it out, and you don't say a word about it, trust me, they don't believe you when you then turn and say, man, I ain't got no problem with that. They ain't believing you, and none of us are.